All he said to me was, "Mommy, I'm going to see my friend." And I trusted him because I had no doubt. Automatically, we have friends here on the ground floor. I thought he was going there. So I had no reason to ask further question because of the relationship and we trust we have. So.
Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. Richard Okorogheye is 19 years old. He's a very smart young man and he was at Oxford University trying to do something with his life. But very similar to every other teenager in the country in the past year, he's been struggling to cope with lockdown. And this was made even harder by the fact that he had sickle cell disease, which meant that he was at high risk of getting ill if he caught the virus. Richard disappeared on March the 22nd, and news has broke last night that a body has been found in a pond in Epping Forest, near to the last place that he was seen. We're going to take you through a timeline of what had happened, as so many people have been messaging asking us to explain this story. And we're going to reference our friends at My London newspaper, who we work with very often, and they have also spoken to Richard's mother. As the news broke yesterday of the body that has been found in Epping Forest, as the search for the missing student went on for several days. Investigators working to identify his remains have told Richard's family of the developments, and they are being supported by specialist police. Speaking to My London newspaper earlier on, Richard's mother, Evidence Joel, said that she had been told the description matches his after the body was found. Speaking briefly, she said, "They said the description matches his, but we've got to go tomorrow to find out. No formal identification has been carried out yet, and the Oxford Brookes students had been missing for 2 weeks. On Monday the 22nd of March, this was the last time that Richard spoke to his mother, when he told her that he was going to visit a friend. Miss Joel left for work at around 7:30 that evening, and Richard was still at home in his room. Upon returning from her shift at 9 p.m. that evening, Miss Joel called Richard and received no response. She knocked on his door and again got no response and assumed he was asleep. At around 2 a.m. on March the 23rd, Miss Joel noticed that Richard still hadn't responded to her calls or eaten the food that's prepared for him. This morning, Miss Joel made the decision to call a locksmith to open Richard's room, which confirmed that he was not there and his wallet, bank card and bus pass were still there. Richard was reported missing the same day by his mother, and evidence went on to tell the London newspaper that Richard had been struggling to cope with lockdown due to having to shield through his sickle cell disease, along with the fact that he was currently studying for business and IT at Oxford University, and he was under a lot of pressure. But she said that Richard had never done anything like this before. After checking CCTV of the building where Miss Joel and Richard lived, Richard was seen walking down Kensal Road towards Ladbroke Grove near Sainsbury's at around 8:30 p.m. He was dressed in all black and in a black Nike side bag as well. And I must take note of the fact that he didn't have a coat on. This is getting to the evening. It might be nice in the daytime, but at night it does get really cold here in the UK. They also noted he got on a bus, but he left his bus pass at home. Richard's mother, Evidence Joel, told My London newspaper that Richard had been shielding since March last year, would only leave the house to go to hospital for blood transfusions. Miss Joel said that she feared that he had been depressed as a result of the shielding and would spend many hours alone in his room. Police released an appeal stating that the officers were increasingly concerned for the welfare of Richard, and it went viral on Twitter with thousands of people, as well as celebrities like Dua Lipa, shared posts about him. Miss Jones told the newspaper that the police had taken Richard's PlayStation 5 and his computer to search it for clues. Richard's mother said that she felt empty thinking about her son's welfare, and community search parties began looking for him in West London that was organised by community leaders and also Richard's friends. Flyers were distributed across West and Central London seeking information for the whereabouts of Richard. On Tuesday the 30th of March, police renewed an appeal for information about his whereabouts, and officers were reported to be conducting increased patrols in the Kensal Road and Ladbroke Grove areas. Richard's mom issued a statement appealing for her son to come home. She said, "Richard, we love you and miss you very much. Please can you come home? We aren't angry at you, we just want to know that you're okay." And she desperately asked anybody that knew anything to contact the police. Police began searching in the Loughton area of Essex on the 31st of March. There had been a sighting of him in the local area on CCTV. The Metropolitan Police reported that Richard had taken a taxi journey from West London to a residential street in Essex. He was spotted on CCTV walking alone on Smarts Lane in Epping Forest at 12:39 a.m. on Tuesday the 23rd of March. And our reporter doesn't live far from where Richard lives in London, and he said that a taxi from there to Loughton, Essex would be about £30 to £40, and Richard had left his wallet at home. Detectives have started to search through the forest and conducting door-to-door inquiries to try to locate him, and specialist search teams had been brought in on the 31st. Richard's mother evidence said that her son had never been to the area and was seen on CCTV on Tuesday. If she said why she knew he was there, she said she'd be lying. Richard's mother told My London newspaper, "I have no idea at all. He has no friends or family in the area. I don't know why he'd be in that area, and he's never gone there before." Friend and neighbour also confirmed this story as well. The university that he goes to, Oxford Brookes, said, "We are aware of a missing person and we share our thoughts and concerns with the family of Richard. We have shared an appeal for information on our social media channels and we are supporting police inquiries throughout." And we have done the same thing as well. For the past week, we've been posting every day on Instagram, and we've got nearly 100,000 followers on there. So there's a lot of people and not many leads at all. Detective Superintendent Danny Goslin, head of the Metropolitan Central West Public Protection Unit, said, "Our search for Richard is continuing at a fast pace. Today's searches are mainly focused in the Epping Forest area, and locals will notice an increased police presence in the area. Support from the public has been amazing," they said, "and everyone has been helping giving CCTV." On Friday, April the 2nd, Richard's mother reportedly said that she believed that he travelled to meet somebody that he'd met online and spoken to on PlayStation 5. I'm not sure if the police had been aware of this information before this, or if the press had just been aware of it. This was several days after he'd been missing. Police activity in Epping Forest came into the third day of searching for Richard, and the Metropolitan Police said at 7 a.m. on April the 3rd that nothing of any relevance had been found. The detective in charge of the case went on to say that people go missing for a number of reasons, and we are not casting judgment on any of them. And this would be symbolic of the fact that a lot of teenagers join county lines, where they go to different areas out of town in order to make some money, and they leave home for several weeks on end. And sadly, if you're a young male in London, this is the first thing that the police will assume. On Sunday, April the 4th, divers joined in the search, and it started to get even more intense in the lakes and ponds of Epping Forest as they began to increase the search. Richard's mother said that she prayed that Richard is in someone's house and that they find him, but they haven't found anything, not a shoe, not anything. At 7:20 p.m. on that day, police confirmed they'd found a body in Epping Forest. Investigators said they are now working to identify the remains, and Richard's family have been informed and are being supported. But Richard's mother evidence, Joel, said they have said that the description matches her son. So this is a devastating story to come from West London, and any parents could relate to this, and also the friends of this young boy that has disappeared, and we don't know what's happened yet. We can't assume or speculate because that does not help the case, but we definitely need answers, and hopefully we'll have some of them in the next day or two. A lot of people have criticised the way that it took so long for the police to start to search for the young boy, being as the searches that was done recently for the missing Sarah Everard in comparison. There's always been criticisms of search responses to different cases, and I definitely mentioned this in the story of Bieber and Nicole that we covered on the channel. Their own family had to search for the bodies of these girls, and they found them as well, after they'd been missing for several days in northwest London. So this is literally a couple of miles away from where Richard lived. So my condolences to the family of Richard. We'll definitely keep you updated on anything to do with this story. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and pay your respects in the comments. Peace.